When people hear the name Bugatti, they usually think of extreme speed, luxury, and cars that only billionaires can afford. The Bugatti Chiron Sport is one of the rarest and most expensive hypercars ever made. Only 60 of them exist in the entire world, and each one costs millions of dollars. These cars are not just expensive because of the badge on the front. Every detail is carefully engineered by experts in France. The car uses an 8.0-liter quad-turbocharged W16 engine that produces 1,500 horsepower. It also has a very advanced cooling system with 10 radiators, something most normal cars do not even come close to having. Bugatti cars are hand-built with incredible precision, and the company is very protective of its technology and reputation. So when a Bugatti Chiron Sport crashed badly in Miami, most people believe the story of that car had ended forever. The front of the car was destroyed, the airbags had deployed, and important structural parts were damaged. Bugatti itself reportedly gave an estimated repair cost of around $1.7 million. The insurance company decided the car was too expensive and risky to repair, so it was written off and sent to salvage auction. For most people, that would have been the end. But this story became something much bigger because one man looked at the destroyed hypercar and believed it could be brought back to life. That man was British YouTuber and car builder Mat Armstrong, someone famous for rebuilding wrecked supercars that other people would never touch. Mat Armstrong was already well known in the car community before this Bugatti project began. His YouTube channel had built a strong reputation through videos showing him rebuilding damaged Ferraris, Lamborghinis, McLarens, and other high-end vehicles. What made his videos popular was not just the cars themselves, but the way he approached impossible problems with patience and creativity. Mat did not come from a massive factory or a billion-dollar company. He worked with a smaller team, trusted his experience, and relied heavily on problem-solving skills. When he heard about the crashed Bugatti Chiron Sport in Miami, he immediately understood how serious the challenge would be. The owner of the car, content creator FXA Alex G, had reportedly bought the damaged vehicle back after the insurance situation and wanted to see if it could somehow be rebuilt privately instead of going through Bugatti. That decision shocked many people because Bugatti is known for controlling almost every part of the ownership experience. The company reportedly locked the VIN of the car, meaning Bugatti dealerships around the world would not provide parts or support for that specific vehicle. Suddenly, the project became more than just fixing a car. It turned into a battle between independent engineering and one of the most exclusive automotive brands in the world. Many viewers online believed the rebuild would fail completely. Others became fascinated because nobody had ever seen a project like this before. Mat Armstrong understood the risk, but instead of backing away, he moved forward and started documenting the process for millions of viewers. The deeper Mat Armstrong got into the rebuild, the more difficult the project became. Bugatti's concerns were not small or unreasonable. The Chiron Sport is an extremely advanced machine with systems and engineering solutions that most workshops never deal with. One of the biggest issues involved the transmission and the structure of the car itself. According to statements connected to Bugatti and its leadership, repairing the damaged drivetrain required splitting the hypercar into two separate sections. This process is something only a very small number of facilities in the world are officially equipped to do. Still, Mat and his team carefully started the process in their workshop. They disconnected coolant lines, electrical systems, fuel connections, and many hidden fasteners. Eventually, the front section of the Bugatti separated from the rear drivetrain section. For viewers watching online, the sight was unbelievable. A $6 million Bugatti was literally split in half inside a private workshop run by YouTubers and engineers working outside the official Bugatti system. Once the car came apart, the real damage became visible. The impact from the crash had pushed components forward and damaged important parts around the engine and gearbox area. One of the most serious problems was a broken cast aluminum engine mount support. There were also damaged cooling parts and structural components that Bugatti normally would replace using official factory procedures. Instead of giving up, Mat Armstrong and his team decided they would design, repair, or create replacement parts themselves. That decision changed the entire direction of the story because now the rebuild became a real engineering experiment. One of the most impressive parts of the rebuild involved custom fabrication and creative engineering. Since Bugatti would not provide replacement parts, Mat Armstrong's team had to think differently. Some damaged pieces were scanned digitally and turned into computer models, so new versions could be CNC machined from solid blocks of aluminum. Other parts were repaired using welding and careful reinforcement. One major example was the gearbox mount. This component is actually designed to fail during crashes, so that dangerous forces move away from more important parts of the car. Many people believe repairing such a piece safely would be impossible, but specialist TIG welded the damaged mount back together with incredible precision. Mat Armstrong later reconnected the two halves of the Bugatti using 14 titanium bolts torqued to exact specifications. Another important figure in the project was a machinist known online as Bob from the machine shop. When the team needed a front crash bar and could not buy one from Bugatti, Bob spent around 60 hours building a replacement entirely from scratch. He recreated mounting points, shapes, and threaded sections so accurately that the finished part fit the Chiron, as though it came directly from the factory. Bob also helped create replacement radiators for the advanced cooling system. These moments became some of the most admired parts of the project because they showed skilled engineers solving problems without official factory support. Instead of relying only on money or manufacturer access, the team relied on knowledge, patience, and determination. Another reason the Bugatti rebuild became so popular was because viewers constantly discovered surprising details about how the car was engineered. Mat Armstrong often shared interesting discoveries during the project that made even experienced car fans curious. One moment that shocked many viewers involved the airbags. Despite the Bugatti Chiron Per Sport costing millions of dollars, the airbags were reportedly compatible with parts from a standard Audi A3. This surprised people because they expected every single component inside the Bugatti to be completely unique and incredibly expensive. Armstrong also pointed out smaller details that showed the contrast between luxury branding and real engineering choices. For example, the accelerator pedal in the Chiron was made from molded plastic rather than expensive carbon fiber or metal. These discoveries made the audience feel like they were seeing behind a curtain of one of the world's most secretive automotive brands. The rebuild also included major cosmetic work. The interior was retrimmed by E3 Customs in white and purple to match the exterior style of the car. Seats, dashboard sections, and steering components were restored carefully to make the Hypercar feel complete again. At the same time, the team installed a custom exhaust system created by Valvetronic Designs. The exhaust reportedly produced a deeper and louder sound than the factory setup. Every step of the process gave viewers another reason to keep watching, because the project constantly mixed technical challenges with unexpected discoveries. The most emotional moment of the rebuild came when the team finally attempted to start the Bugatti again. By this stage, months of work had already gone into the project. The car had been split apart, rebuilt, rewired, welded, fabricated, and reassembled piece by piece. Still, there was one huge fear hanging over the workshop. After crash, the engine had reportedly been run briefly without coolant. If the W16 engine suffered serious heat damage during that time, the rebuild might fail completely no matter how good the rest of the work was. Mat Armstrong and his team carefully checked every system before attempting the startup. Coolant lines were connected, fuel systems were inspected, electrical systems were verified, and the ECU was reinstalled. Then came the moment everyone had been waiting for. The W16 engine fired up successfully. The custom exhaust filled the workshop with an aggressive sound, and the people inside the garage immediately understood how important the moment was. The car that many people believed would never run again had come back to life. Shortly after, the Bugatti moved under its own power during a test drive. It was not a full-speed run, but it proved the project was real. The rebuilt Hypercar drove using custom-made parts, repaired mounts, fabricated cooling systems, and independent engineering solutions. Millions of viewers watched these videos online, and the project quickly became one of the most talked-about automotive rebuilds on YouTube. The story became even more interesting because of the public discussion between Mat Armstrong and Bugatti leadership. Mat Rimac, CEO of Bugatti Rimac, reportedly watched the rebuild videos and commented publicly about the risks and technical concerns involved. From Bugatti's perspective, safety was extremely important. If a rebuilt Hypercar later crashed and injured someone, the public might still blame Bugatti even if the repairs were done independently. Armstrong later explained that he understood the company's concerns, and he never fully treated Bugatti as an enemy. Instead, he described the situation more like a rivalry between two sides with different approaches. One side represented official factory control and strict standards. The other side represented independent problem solving and the right to repair expensive machines outside factory networks. As the rebuild gained popularity online, reports suggested that Bugatti eventually softened its position somewhat and even invited Armstrong to bring the car to France for inspection. This development surprised many viewers because earlier parts of the story felt like a complete corporate shutdown. The relationship between Armstrong and Bugatti showed how powerful online audiences have become. Millions of people followed the rebuild, discussed the right to repair debate, and questioned whether manufacturers should have full control over vehicles after customers purchased them. The project stopped being just about a damaged Bugatti and became part of a larger conversation involving ownership, engineering freedom, and modern technology. The rebuild of the Bugatti Chiron Per Sport also highlighted how modern YouTube storytelling has changed automotive culture. Years ago, projects like this would mostly stay hidden inside specialist garages or private workshops. Today, creators like Mat Armstrong document every success, failure, mistake, and breakthrough for massive audiences online. Viewers do not just watch the finished product anymore. They become emotionally connected to the process itself. During the Bugatti rebuild, audiences experience moments of excitement, stress, doubt, and celebration alongside the team working on the car. One important example involved a mistake made during reassembly. A fuel tank pressure sensor became trapped between body panels, and fixing it properly would have required separating the car again. Instead of panicking, Armstrong carefully created a small access opening in the bodywork, so the issue could be solved without fully dismantling the chassis. This moment became symbolic of the entire project. Instead of accepting defeat every time a new problem appeared, the team found creative solutions and continued moving forward. That attitude inspired many viewers because it showed persistence under pressure. The story also demonstrated how online content creators can sometimes compete with large corporations in terms of influence and attention. Millions of people follow Mat Armstrong's rebuild videos, proving that audiences are deeply interested in real engineering challenges and human problem-solving rather than just polished advertisements. In the end, Mat Armstrong's Bugatti rebuild became much more than a YouTube project about fixing a damaged hypercar. It turned into a symbol of determination, creativity, and independent engineering. The Bugatti Chiron Per Sport was once considered completely destroyed by insurance companies and nearly impossible to repair outside official channels. Yet through custom fabrication, digital scanning, welding, machining, teamwork, and persistence, the car returned to life. The project also raised difficult questions that still remain unanswered. Should manufacturers have the power to permanently block independent repairs on vehicles customers already own? How much control should companies keep over products after they are sold? And where should the line between safety and ownership freedom be drawn? These questions are becoming more important as modern vehicles become more advanced and dependent on software and specialized systems. Regardless of where people stand in the debate, there is no denying that Mat Armstrong's rebuild captured global attention because it challenged limits that many believe could not be challenged. The car now runs, drives, and continues to evolve through ongoing work and testing. Even people who disagree with the rebuild often admit that the engineering effort behind it is impressive. What started as a crashed hypercar in Miami became one of the most fascinating automotive stories on the internet. More importantly, it proved that determination, skill, and creative thinking can sometimes achieve results that even the biggest companies never expected to see. Even after Bugatti was successfully started and driven again, the story still continued to grow online. Millions of people across YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and automotive forums kept discussing the rebuild and debating whether what Mat Armstrong achieved was genius or simply too risky. Some professional mechanics praised the project because they understood how difficult it was to work on a hypercar without official factory support. Others remained skeptical and argued that a vehicle as advanced as a Bugatti should only be repaired by manufacturer-approved specialists. This debate actually helped the project become even more famous because every new update created fresh discussions across the internet. Armstrong himself stayed surprisingly calm through most of the criticism. Instead of responding emotionally, He continued focusing on solving problems one step at a time. That attitude became one of the biggest reasons viewers respected him. The rebuild also changed how many people looked at YouTube creators. In the past, some people viewed automotive YouTubers mainly as entertainers, but projects like this showed that creators could also perform serious engineering work while teaching and inspiring millions of viewers at the same time. The Bugatti rebuild combined entertainment, education, business, and engineering into one giant online event. It also showed how much knowledge exists outside giant corporations. Skilled machinists, welders, fabricators, designers, and independent mechanics proved they could solve problems that many believed only factory engineers could handle. For younger viewers especially, the project became motivational because it showed that curiosity and hands-on learning still matter in a world increasingly controlled by expensive technology and large companies. Whether people agreed with every repair decision or not, almost everyone admitted they had never seen anything quite like this before. The rebuild became a modern internet legend because it represented something bigger than a car. It represented the idea that impossible challenges can sometimes be solved by ordinary people willing to work hard, take risks, and refuse to quit when everyone else says something cannot be done. The rebuild of the Bugatti Chiron Sport also highlighted how modern YouTube storytelling has changed automotive culture. Years ago, projects like this would mostly stay hidden inside specialist garages or private workshops. Today, creators like Mat Armstrong document every success, failure, mistake, and breakthrough for massive audiences online. Viewers do not just watch the finished product anymore. They become emotionally connected to the process itself. During the Bugatti rebuild, audiences experienced moments of excitement, stress, doubt, and celebration alongside the team working on the car. One important example involved a mistake made during reassembly. A fuel tank pressure sensor became trapped between body panels, and fixing it properly would have required separating the car again. Instead of panicking, Armstrong carefully created a small access opening in the bodywork so the issue could be solved without fully dismantling the chassis. This moment became symbolic of the entire project. Instead of accepting defeat every time a new problem appeared, the team found creative solutions and continued moving forward. That attitude inspired many viewers.